Hello, this is Stephen Whitfield with Drilling Contractor here from the floor of the 2022 Offshore Technology Conference. With me right now are Hadi Mustapha, R&D engineer at Drillmec, and Leonardo Bori, training coordinator at Drillmec. We're going to be speaking about the ProRig data management system that Drillmec is discussing here at this conference. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. So Leonardo, I'll start with you first. We have this interface behind us showing the ProRig system. It looks like a lot of cool graphs and numbers and things. Why don't you tell us what this ProRig system is?
Of course, Steve, thank you very much for your question and thank you very much for the opportunity. So basically the ProRig is the last product of the Drillmec Innovation Hub. That's a data management system that is made to make rigs smarter. It's basically a product of the IoT technology that collects data from rigs and intakes this data into machine learning processes that are able to generate very important information for the customers. Basically, the customer defines specific KPIs to monitor their rigs, and they can use this KPI to improve a lot the rig performances in terms of efficiency of rig and predictive maintenance to reduce the NPT a lot.
So what makes this system unique compared to other data management systems that you see in the market?
Basically, this system is unique because of the circle that you create between Drillmec as a manufacturer and the final client. Because as soon as the client is gathering benefits from the system, some happens to Drillmec that gathers data and uses this data to improve all the rigs around the world. So basically, you intake benefits from whichever data is collected from the system.
So Hadi, let me move on to you. There are a lot of sort of features that Drillmec has touted with this ProRig system. I want to talk about a little bit about that. One of the things that you guys talk about is this rig state tracker. That's a term that sounds really interesting. I want to know a little bit more about that. What kind of value does a rig state tracker provide to users?
So the rig state tracker is basically a service that is embedded in the ProRig, in which it gathers information and parameters from the rig and in real time and feeds them into an algorithm which automatically detects the operation that the rig is doing at the moment. So it basically gives out an output, whether the rig is doing rotary drilling, whether it is doing connection, whether it is static, whether it is doing reaming. And it's basically calculating the time that each operation is doing, which is basically giving us an information about how much time are we spending during each operation. For example, we are calculating the average connection times and the maximum connection times, which is giving us a clue about how much time are we losing while doing these operations. And this is pretty much very important for the client in order to understand how are they operating the rig and how efficient are they operating it and how efficiently using the different components of the rig.
Another thing that Drillmec talked about with this system is cybersecurity. Now, here at the conference, there's been a lot of talk about cybersecurity, about making sure that your data is secure. You talk about, with the ProRig system, having sort of offsite backups, cloud backups for data. I want to ask a little bit about cybersecurity. When you're talking with customers, what is the priority that you hear with cybersecurity? How do you apply that within this system?
Basically, the first priority of the client is security, and they normally don't want their data to be all around the world. Everyone can actually access that. The first thing that I can say is that the data is backed up on several levels. So first, the data is backed up on the rig servers, and also is providing a buffer in case of any rig connection loss. So whenever we're having a internet connection loss, the servers are capable of having those data for up to 30 days, and after the connection gets back, it's able to give that to the cloud. Another backup is done on the cloud, in which the data is already back there and in Drillmec's headquarters. Now, as for security, the data is encrypted once they are on the rig servers, and during the transfer phase using secure VPN tunnels, which which ensure the security and the safety of the data during the transfer phase.
So lastly, I kind of want to ask about how this thing performs.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you guys have done some testing. I'm sure you guys have some sort of observations from its work so far. Can you share with us a little bit what some of those observations have been? How has this thing worked?
Actually, several case studies were done using the ProRig, and one of which was a predictive maintenance case study, which was done on one of the equipment of the top drive. It was the blower, and we tried to forecast the number of low pressure alarms that we would be receiving in the upcoming working hours. And what we predicted is that after 500 working hours of using the top drive, we predicted 38 low pressure alarms of the blower. While monitoring that after the working hours of the top drive, we noticed 36 low pressure alarms, which showed a pretty much accurate prediction of the failures of the equipment, which is actually helping us monitor and forecast the life cycles of the equipment in order to better understand when to interfere and mechanically maintain the equipment for better performance.
Well, Hadi, Leonardo, thank you again for taking the time to speak with us on this data management system. Sure, we're going to be hearing a lot more about it in the coming months, coming years. See how it does. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time.
And thank you for visiting Drilling Contractor.